So here we are ready for another game at Wembley. I'm super excited. If you haven't already, please check out my interview with Mark Clayton. I've written it up on WordPress and Instagram. It was an awesome opportunity to meet him. He was a great guy and gave some really interesting answers to my questions. It was really insightful. So heading towards the game now, I thought I'd go in and get some early predictions in and give a breakdown of how the game's going to go. I can't believe it's here already and I'm really excited for this. So listening to some of the guys interviewed yesterday, there are a few factors that I thought would be key in this matchup. So we know that the Saints finally hit their stride last week and looked really good and don't want to go into the bye week 1 and 3 and well behind in the playoff run. Meanwhile, the Dolphins had a strong showing in week 2, whereas in week 3 they struggled again and Jay Cutler looked all too familiar. Jay Cutler, we all know. So there's a few game-changing factors and I just wanted to mention these. The first one is I think Ajayi returning to London is a big storyline. He wants to have a big day in front of his home crowd, and so look for him to be looking for big runs and making those tough, hard runs that he's known for. Also, on the flip side of that, we have Adrian Peterson, who's struggled to find his feet within the Saints' offence. But in a game where the front seven of the Dolphins is really strong, look for the Saints to potentially turn to Adrian Peterson for some of that power and determined running he's known for, and also to match Ajayi, who I think will put up big yards with his tough running style in this game. The other factor, I think, is the offensive line play and defensive line play is going to be massive in this game. Now, it was mentioned by a few Saints how athletic the offensive line of the Dolphins is, and that they're a really tough matchup. Now, the Saints were saying their defence is full of young guys and old vets who are having fun and testing each other, and it all finally came together in the last game, and they look forward to this challenge. But that will also link back in with the run game, who can win out, as Ajayi looks to have his big day. Look for the offensive line and the Saints defence trying to cancel each other out and bring Ajayi down early. Look for the Saints defence to try and make some big plays and get some takeaways, especially with Jay Cutler struggling in these areas and not being too accurate over the last few weeks. So there it is, look for a big run game and potentially to become a bit of a slugfest through the run game with two tough runners going at it. Now we know also Drew Brees, who's a great passer, is involved. It'll be awesome to see him out there as well. So there will be a lot of passing game, but I think potentially this could turn into a Ajayi versus Adrian Peterson, which would be awesome. It's two great, hard-running, tough running backs. I think two teams that at this point in the season are fairly evenly matched as well, so it should be a really great game out there. So let's get to it. Hope you enjoy the game, and if you haven't already, please check out my pump-up for the international series on YouTube at SanFranFanAD.